have another Christmas recipe for you. Today I'm going to be making another one of my mom's recipes, and this is one that she made when I was a kid, and they are absolutely delicious. They are called dream bars, and I kind of look at them as sort of like a pecan pie in a bar form. They're rich, delicious, and just a perfect dessert to have for the holidays. So let me show you what you're going to need to get started. So what you're going to need to make these dream bars is, first, for the crust, you're going to need a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a ½ cup of butter. For the topping, you're going to need a cup of coconut flakes, about a cup of chopped walnuts. You can also use pecans, 1½ cups of brown sugar, 3 eggs beaten, teaspoon vanilla, and 2 tablespoons of flour. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350, and then we are going to start on the crust. So for my crust, what I'm going to do is take my flour and I'm going to dump it in a medium-sized bowl. And then I'm going to put in the sugar. And lastly, the butter. And you want this butter to be room temperature so it's easier to work with. And mine is. And then, once I get the butter in here, I'm just going to blend this all up with my pastry blender here. You can use a fork, you can use a mixer, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to use this pastry blender real quick and get this all blended up, and then I will be back and show you the next step. And here's what it looks like when it is all blended up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my 9x9 pan here. And the dough is a little bit sticky, but you just want to kind of press it in here the best you can. You can use a fork if that helps with keeping it from sticking it on your fingers, but I'm just gonna kind of press it in here the best I can. And like I was saying before, this crust is kind of like a shortbread in flavor and texture. And that looks pretty good. There's a little bit left in the bowl here. Put it in. Okay. We'll call that good. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my oven, which is preheated to 350, and I'm going to just cook it. I'm going to start for probably 8 to 10 minutes and see how we're looking. You just want this very, very lightly browned. Since this is very much like a cookie in consistency when it's done, I don't want to overcook it. I like my cookies a little bit on the probably underdone side more so than done or overdone. So I'm going to check this at about 8 to 10 minutes and see where we're at. And then I will be back when this is done. Okay, and while my crust is baking, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my filling. So I'm going to first put in my eggs. And then my brown sugar. And I'm going to give that just a real quick stir. Okay, I've got that mixed up pretty well. There's still a few little chunks of brown sugar in there, but that'll get done with the next mixing. Next, I'm going to put in my flour and my vanilla and mix again. Okay, I let that mix for a couple minutes, and now what I'm going to do is take the beater out of here. And then I'm gonna pour in my walnuts and my coconut. And then I'm gonna just kind of fold this together with a spatula. And just kind of sort of mix this all in until it's all incorporated together. Okay, I've got that all folded in. Now I'm just gonna let this sit while I'm waiting for my crust to cook. And then once the crust is cooked, we are gonna pour this filling on it and put it back in the oven. So I will be back when my crust is done. Okay, it's been 10 minutes and I went ahead and pulled this out, and it's not really starting to brown too much, but I'm gonna call it good anyway, because again, like I said, I like my cookies and my crusts that are basically cookies to be probably a little more on the underdone side. So this is also gonna continue to cook with the topping. So I'm gonna call that good, and now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pour my filling on top of this. But before I do that, you want to set your oven to 325 because you want to cook the filling a little lower and slower than you did the crust. So I've got that set to 325, and now I'm going to pour my filling on my crust. Okay, I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit. And now I'm going to put this back in the oven starting at 30 minutes on 325. Okay, I let these go for just about 35 minutes and I pulled them because they're looking good. So I'm going to let these cool, and then when they're cool I will cut them up and show you what they look like. Okay, I've cut a couple of these out and put them on a plate so you can see what they look like. I cut them a little bit earlier than I probably should have, so they haven't quite set up yet, but I will show you what they look like inside. You've got the nice chewy kind of toffee-like topping here, and then on the bottom got that buttery kind of shortbread crust, and both together is just absolutely delicious. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. I hope you'll try it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.